easier if I just went through and made quick little tutorials about the different geoprocessing tools that we're going to be using throughout the North Country trails in our suitability analysis. So I want to specifically go into how to use the buffer tool, Euclidean distance, reclassify, kernel density, and possibly a weighted sum one or a weighted overlay next week once everyone starts transforming their base data based on their criteria. So for this first video, I want to go into how to use the buffer tool and why that's important. So why it's important is because a lot of us have already set our parameters. You know, if we want a 10-mile buffer or 20, 30, 40-mile buffer off of the existing North Country trail. So whether that just you want to be, you know, a shorter hiking distance or longer, what have you, based on your criteria and based on your ultimate end goal. So I want to go over that. So I think everyone has already gotten all the data downloaded and has started looking through all the base layers that I've provided. So everyone should have the North Country Trail base layer. So what you'll want to do is you just want to either left click and drag from here, or if you already have it on your map layer, you can left click and drag it from here as well onto the map. So do that. And as you can see, I shortened the trail a lot because what happens is this trail is made up of many, many different line segments. So if you're trying to run any sort of buffer off of a 4,600 mile trail, you can bet that that process is going to take a while. So shortening it is going to drastically cut down on that processing time when you're running the buffer tool. So keep that in mind. So how I did that was up on the top left side, you have the map tab. And then you'll just want to go to the select tool. You can use the rectangle, polygon, lasso, whatever. Rectangle is fine. But what you'll want to do is just left click and drag and delete across the entire trail, because again, we only care about the North Country Trail on the North Dakota side. So anything that goes into Minnesota or other states we don't care about, of course. So you can delete that. But now we need to get into using the model builder and running that buffer tool with this base layer. So what we want to do is back up here by the map tab. There's the analysis tab. And then you're going to want to click on this model builder. This is essentially going to be the area where you're running all the geoprocessing tools. So you'll want to left click that, and then it will take you to this model tab. And I've already started working on things, so I had something to show you for these tutorials. But essentially this is going to be blank, and this is just a working model building site, if you will. So you'll want to save this even periodically, so you are saving constantly all of those analysis tests that you're running. So then it will actually pop up as a model builder tab, and this is where you'll have those tools. So you can search for the tools here, but it'll also pop up here on the right hand side where I currently have my catalog of all the layers. It'll pop up down here on the bottom, a geoprocessing tab, where you can use this search bar to search for those different analysis tools that we're going to be needing. So I've already ran a 10, 20, and a 40-mile buffer. So I can walk you through creating a 30-mile buffer, but obviously, input your values based on the criteria you have set. But I will show you those after we run it, but this is the process on how to do it. So you'll just want to left click and drag that base trail layer into the model. And then from there, you're going to want to search the buffer tool. I already have searched it. But anyways, it's this first one, the analysis tool. We don't want the graphic buffer, the 3D buffer, anything like that. It's just the first one. So we're going to left click and drag that as well. So you can see that it doesn't automatically connect because, again, we don't know, or the software doesn't know that we want to yet connect this layer to the buffer tool. So what we have to do in order to connect those is we have to double click on this buffer, and our input feature is going to be, well, in my case, it's going to be this one. You can see North Country Trail Public 6, North Country Trail Public 6. You want to select the layers under this model variables. These ones are specifically just the map layers. So if you were to accidentally click this one, it wouldn't connect back to this layer. It would create its own connection, and then this one would kind of just be pointless. So make sure you're using the layers under the model variables. So my input feature is going to be that one, and your output feature class is essentially just an organizational labeling method. So what we'll want to label here, if we want a 30-mile buffer, the 30-mile country trail buffer, that's what I'll label it. We'll keep this as a linear unit. That's the default, and we'll type in 30. What is that? Okay. I don't know why that's... Okay. Sorry, guys. When you're doing this, I forgot you can't use numbers for some reason. I don't, or at least not a number at the very beginning. So you'll want to 30-mile. Okay. That should work now. And then, of course, we want a 30-mile buffer, so there's different spatial measurements, miles, of course. This we can leave as a default because we want our site type to be full, because we want a buffer on each and every side of the trail, north, south, east, and west. The end type is mainly user preference, so the default is round. So essentially, even if you go on this little informational icon, the round type means that the ends of the buffer are going to be round in half circles, and the flat is going to be more squared at the end of those trail endpoints. Again, method, we're going to use planar because we're using a coordinate system. And the dissolve type, the default is no dissolve. However, we do not want that. We want to dissolve all output features into a single feature. What I found is if we use the no dissolve tool, it's going to create a 10-mile buffer around each individual line segment. And we don't want that. We want to condense all the line segments into one cohesive line. So that's what it's telling us to do. So then there will only be one 10 or 30-mile buffer, around the entire North Country Trail, not individual line segments that had been used to create the layer. So we're going to press OK, and you can see right here it connected. I selected the right layer in our input. So what we're going to do is right click, and we're going to run this. This may take a couple minutes, just based on the complexity of the trail and the length of the trail and everything like that. So give it some time. I'll check back with you when this is done running. Ran, as you can see, there's a drop shadow on our transform data, so you can just X out of this, and then you will want to so if we go back to our map. This is our transformed 30-mile buffer off of the North Country Trail. As you can see, these are the other ones, 10, 20, 30, and 40 that I've previously ran. So I hope that helps you guys run the process. Again, for any, say you want to create buffers around the existing wildlife refuges, you can do that as well. Just based on your criteria and your goals, you are able to do this for multiple different layers, for multiple different goals that you want to accomplish with creating these spurs. So make sure you use this tool. I hope this helps and gives you some guidance on, moving forward with the suitability analysis. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be able to help Friday during studio as well as next week over the weekend. So let me know. I will be making other videos again using other geoprocessing tools. So I hope this is a good start for you guys. So thanks so much.